What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Mastery Podcast. I hope you're doing well. Now, in today's episode, I want to talk to you if you're at the point in your career where you're thinking about hiring your first coach, or maybe you've hired your first coach and you just don't think they're a good fit. Maybe you've not done it the right way. And let me tell you this, in business, that's going to happen. But what I want to do is give you a better understanding and appreciation for why you bring a coach into your business, how a coach can help you, and also the structure of how I feel it should be done. Now, the hiring of a coach is a challenging one. Why? Because it'll be the first time that you're stepping into a leadership role. That's the most important thing to understand. You'll be stepping into a leadership role. Before you hire somebody, you must be ready. The worst thing ever to do is to say, oh, thank God, I've got a coach. I'm bringing them on board. They'll just take over everything. Before you hire a coach and bring them in, you're never hiring a coach to take your clients off you. Please listen to this. Pause, go back over it, listen to it again, listen to it again. You're not hiring a coach to take your clients. If your coaching brand is called AJ Coaching, right? That is the brand. You are the founder of the brand. You are the front-facing leader of the brand. You will be creating all the educational videos. You will be teaching on your lives. You will be answering a lot of questions within your Facebook community, whichever community you're using. You are the front and center person of the brand. A coach coming into the business is a facilitator. They help you with check-ins and supporting the clients that are coming to the business. But every client coming into the business is yours, i.e., the brand, AJ Coaching, for example. A lot of you make the mistake of saying, great, I've got a coach. You do a sales call. You say, you're going to be working with this person, and you give full ownership of the coaching relationship to that one coach. The client builds a relationship with the coach. The client gets all the education and information from the coach. They give their own training programs with maybe your template on it. You can see how this is moving everything across to the coach. Should that coach decide to no longer work with you, the relationships form that well that the client will inevitably go with them. If, on the other hand, you have, and I've talked about how do you build a community many times in episodes. If, on the other hand, your client's coming to live events hosted by you, the client's coming to live coaching calls in the middle of the week that's hosted by you, if the client's watching educational videos on a week-to-week basis from you, if your coach is sharing information to your client or their client, the one that was working within the business, sharing educational content filmed by you, then the client knows they're a part of your AJ Coaching brand, right? And the coach is facilitating the check-ins, the support, and the guidance. But a lot of the actual educational side and a lot of the coaching side is coming from you. What you're doing when you hire a coach for you is your ability to scale your influence. You are still heavily involved in the company, but not doing a lot of what we may call the lower value tasks relative to the value that you can bring to the business. So it's not like doing check-ins is low value. It's like it's not important. It's hugely important, but you bring in a coach to facilitate that part of the process. Now, another thing I want to say to you is a lot of coaches put off hiring a coach into their business because they're trying to find a carbon copy of themselves. If you're trying to find a carbon copy of yourselves, they will have their own brand, they'll have their own business, they'll have their own vision, they'll have their own way of working. You're trying to find 100% of you. 85% of you is better than 100% of you every day of the week. Because you're not looking for somebody that's exactly the same as you. They'll probably be a nightmare to run. I don't want another one of me, right? I'm the entrepreneurial one. I'm the visionary.
Just a quick break to let you know that if you are an online coach and you're looking to build the foundations and systems into your business to achieve consistent 5 to 7K months, or you've already reached 10K months and above and you want to scale your business, build your team, and build your dream, make sure you go to the description box. Click on the links, check out exactly what we do. We can help you to not only build the foundations of your business, but scale your business and build your dream. Now, let's get back to the video.
You're looking for people in the book Rocket Fuel. They talk about visionaries and integrators. Integrators are people that are very, very happy to work in an organization. They're very happy to bring the income, the guarantee, the less pressure of the kind of founder and boss of the company. They are coming into the company to be a part of a company because they don't want to be a visionary. They don't want to be the entrepreneur. They don't want to be the person with the pressure of the bank and the finances and everything behind them. Okay? So we've got to understand that the person you're hiring, this is very, very important to understand, especially if you're hiring for an online coach, is the specificity that I'm bringing to this episode today. If you're hiring an online coach, the number one thing you need to look to first and foremost is, what is their brand? What is the work that they're putting in to grow their own brand? My advice to many of you listening to this is to hire a personal trainer. Is to hire a personal trainer with a bit of a social media presence, not much of an online business, but lots of experience, personal training. Why? I'm actually going to be creating another video about the value of hiring a personal, or not hiring a personal trainer, but the value of personal training within your career. But I'll just give you some snippets. A personal trainer will have their own income, but will want to be ready to supplement their income. An online coach on their own, with their own personal brand, while you're developing them, will be pushing their own brand. And while they're pushing their own brand, they're going to be split between your brand and their brand, and they're going to be focused too much on growing their own business. And once you have helped them get to a certain point, there is a lot of motivation and inspiration for them to stick to their own thing. If you take a PT who's doing a little bit of online or has a very low level of presence online, then you're in a perfect position to be able to help them to grow. Now, the next thing you need to do when you are looking for the right coach, and I'll tell you this, very often, if you have coaching clients right now, the coach that you're looking for, if you're an established coach, will be either in your coaching community or you will already know them. My tip for you right now is to not try and necessarily look for somebody that you don't know. I would first and foremost look at your previous gym that you worked, or within your client portfolio, because you more than likely have some PTs that are working for you. It's one of the best places to actually look in your immediate circle. If you don't have somebody in your immediate circle, then you go ahead and actually start marketing that you're looking for a coach to work within the business on your social media channels. You then need to create a very, very clear job description, which is so important. So many coaches make the mistake. Within the job description, you write down everything that's expected of them. And when they come into the business, you go through that with them very, very, very clearly. This is your role. This is what you're going to be managed according to. You don't just say, oh, thank God I've got a coach coming in. Let them take my clients, let them crack on. I'm going to tell you this, probably one of the most important things I'll ever tell you. You have to set the tone from the start. They work for you. Your standards, your code of conduct, your expectations of them, the expectations of how you want to coach people. You need to train them. I advise you to do at least a month's worth of training with them and give them case studies to practice on, case studies that you're about to set up a client. Let them listen into a video of an onboarding that you do with a client, or go through a video of how you onboard somebody and get them to go through that and set up their own sample version of that. You must set this all up. You must take them through training. You must set them KPIs, targets. What do they have to hit within their first month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months? And the next thing you need to consider is how much you're going to pay them. A lot of coaches make the mistake, oh, great, I'm going to take a coach on. They're going to take all these clients off me. I'm removing a lot of my stress. No, you do not pay over the odds to start with. 25, 30% of the monthly rate for the coach. And then you give them 3 months targets to hit. You've got to achieve these level of results. You've got to maintain these level of 5-star service standards. You've got to maintain the level of replies in the Facebook group. You've got to maintain this. To hit that, we'll do a 3-month review. And then we'll do a monthly review as well. You'll continue to do your training. You'll turn up to these calls. If they're not met, they don't have a pay rise. They do not have a pay rise. And you might think, oh, Mark, that's pretty harsh. Like, they're saving me a lot of time. I've got many years of experience coaching and hiring people. If you hire and give people too much, they develop an entitlement level, and then the entitlement level is I want more and more and more and more. I would also advise you not to let them, for the first at least 6 or 8 months, go above 30 to 35 clients. Why? Because you might be able to handle a lot of clients. If you give them too many, the service will dip. If the service dips, it affects your reputation and it affects your retention. Hiring a coach is not as simple as just throwing them into your business and hoping for the best. Hiring a coach is a responsibility. Hiring a coach is a responsibility for you, but it's also your responsibility to look after them, support them. They've got their own values, they've got their own vision, they've got their own life that they're trying to build. You need to find out what that is. What are you trying to do? Get my mortgage for the first time. What are you trying to do? Just have a better quality of life. I'd like to tone down my PT, bring in more income from the online so I can spend some more time with my family. Great. Let me understand what that looks like. Let me try and structure how we can make that happen. But in turn, I will help you make that happen. But in turn, I want you to help me make this happen. And in turn, I'll help you, show you how you can increase more income incrementally as we go through this process. They're like, great. So they're bought into you, you're bought into them, you understand their vision, you're respectful to them, you understand their values, and the working relationship begins. Now, hiring a coach, what I've just shared with you right now is a pretty good insight into how you find somebody, how much you should pay somebody, what you need to think about. It's actually what we do day in, day out inside our Coaching Concierge Scale programs, where we are actually helping coaches much like you. I'm pretty sure you'll be in this situation. You know, you may be around about, and here's another little thing for you. You may be around about the 50 client mark. That's the point where I would actually advise you hiring somebody. A lot of coaches get to the 100, 110 client mark and then say they need to hire somebody. You're already too busy. You're already too overwhelmed. And then you're not going to put the time in to hire somebody. I would tell you, 50, hire somebody, bring them in. And that is where, you know, a lot of the work that we do with our scale clients, you know, we help you buy back time. We help you build your team. And if you're inspired by what you've heard today and you're ready to hire your first coach and you want us to help you build the infrastructure, the systems, we'll give you all of the templates and documents and legal documents. We'll walk you through the whole process. We'll help you hire and interview people. It's what we do inside our scale program week in, week out to help coaches go above 10K months plus within their business. So if you want our help, all you need to do is send me a DM on Instagram with the word scale, or click the link in the description if you're watching on YouTube. But for now, please click like, click subscribe if you're on YouTube, or just send me a message and share the podcast on Instagram. Every bit of sharing and acknowledgement of the podcast helps. And for now, I'll speak to you soon.